maybe like you think that can be like added to the list of topics that we already have, and also who wants to be like a speaker of this training, because in this first training we had Durgadas and Livy, but you all are invited if you want, if you want to have a presentation in the Graviton training. You can just like post yourself and yeah, like help in the group, because this is something that like I have been leading this group for until now, but I want for the Gravitons to step up and also like assume certain tasks on how to contribute with these next steps that are coming. Then we will talk a little bit about Graviton relationships with other DAOs. It would be really good if we can make like a brainstorm of a financial plan. And we need also to update our manifesto, the working group manifesto, because the roadmap that we had finished with the Graviton training, and when we have this next Graviton training dates, topics, and speakers, we can like and like a financial plan and this idea of how to reach other organizations. Then we can like update the manifesto and yeah, have like a roadmap that will guide us through these next steps. So if you want, we can go with this first question. I can start answering, and I will pass the mic. Like I would first I thought that we could have like 2 trainings per year, but maybe if we like push and like try to give a lot on this, we can make 3 trainings per year, so that we can have the second training in mid-year, like in June, July, and the third training maybe in the last months of the year. So with this, we will end 2021 with 3 generation of Gravitons. I want to pass to Santi.
I'm gonna have to pass. I will catch up later on. I'm engaged with something. Sorry about that.
Okay. Griff, what do you think about making the next Graviton trainings?
I think that it's too early to say, in my personal opinion. What I would say is that we should decide when. I would rather decide when to decide for the next training than actually like picking the dates or anything right now. So I like the idea of making sure that we can promote it with the next. I see some other notes about the Gitcoin grant, and I really love the idea. Gitcoin grants for me are not about raising money; they're about promotion, and more importantly, so the having that date before the Gitcoin grant is what's the most important, and then just taking the opportunity to not really focus on the training, but focus on execution of a Graviton group within a first user, the TE Commons. And I'll pass it to Jake.
Yeah, I would. I would. Well, at least I don't know a specific date by any means, but I would say after we actually launch. Yes. Plus, then others, like I had a hard time being able to take part, in all the gravity training, so I did not actually get to be a Graviton. And if the next go around would probably be a lot easier for me and others that were in a similar position. And I'm going to pass it to Jessica.
Hey Jake, hey Griff, hey Juan. So sorry I missed the T comments. Like my calendar was off and I was writing and I was in the zone. I'm glad I made it here though. Yeah, Graviton, I think there's so much potential. Sorry I missed the first 2 minutes, Juan. What's the exact question? It's just looking at like how to go forward.
That's top of mind. Yes, like if you think that there are some topics that we can add to the Graviton training, if you think that we can have another speaker in our training, and also if you think that we should think in the dates of the next training.
Yeah, I think I would agree for Jake about after. As far as training materials, I thought it was pretty complete. The only thing that I think maybe would be the use case exercise was excellent, but I think there were a few people that were a bit confused and maybe didn't get kind of the max out of that exercise. So I think now that I know it was like facilitating that and virtually, it's kind of challenging. So maybe more role-playing exercises or looking at a few use cases within training. And maybe if there's a facilitator who has like direct experience, like a lawyer or somebody that's done arbitration, might be cool to have them share like some stories of a problem or a conflict that they had and how they resolved it. Somebody that has like that direct experience of arbitration. And I know Decentralized SDGs, who is Mark, he's a lawyer, so he may be willing to participate a few of the meetings and is a great person and contributor. The other thought was more so relating to relations within other DAOs. So yeah, I think kind of what Griff said, going off of that, like Gravity is its own nested institution within the TEC, so it can act with this me, and yeah, with the Gitcoin, submitting a proposal to TEC and then providing trainings to other DAOs. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to expand. But yeah, I think maybe one more training round would just like beef up the experience. And then when we actually have a few cases that we can say Graviton has resolved conflicts in TEC, and also maybe like I know Metagame reached out. I don't know where that is in the process, but not saying the specifics, but having that experience to be confident to go and say we have actually resolved cases within DAOs, I think would give us that confidence and reputation to start spreading it more. So I hope that's helpful, and I will to Chewy.
Hi everyone. I think I'll pass as well because I'm a little bit out of context. Livia, you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah, I think for the next Graviton training, we'll have a lot of materials from the experience of the first Gravity group. So having all of the Gravitons that gathered the POAPs and are now going to start iterating this Gravity group and start facing like real things that will probably come up. Also after the hatch, I think this will give an incredible material to start the next training from more like practical use cases. And I pass to this Bullock.
Okay, I honestly I don't have any firm opinions on the matter. Whenever works for y'all, I'm comfortable helping out, but I don't have any particular knowledge as to what the appropriate time frame is.
Leon, how are you? Congratulations. Thanks for coming. And Nate and Rita, would you like to participate? And also Dan in this question? Like, because when I designed the training, as I am a magister in conflict management, like I put a lot of conflict management and a lot of my expertise in the training. But I am sure that there are like other ways and other expertise that maybe can include it as the input that Durgadas gave with nonviolent communication and spiral dynamics, because he's more of an expert in that than me. So if you feel that you are good in any topic, or that if you like to go deeper on nonviolent communication or in any of the topics that we already covered, feel free to say that. Feel free to say so.
Maybe I can jump in here and say, I don't recall who mentioned this, but I just like the idea that of having another training before, and like before the hatch, maybe to prepare us for kind of bringing this out to the world. One other idea that I had was just about creating like a library. Like our training has its specific topics, but we could have a collection of resources for emotional intelligence, all types of things for just managing ourselves and our lives that can help to instead of having to deal with conflict before there's even conflict, if we're all like immersed in these tools and resources that help us just manage our own self and our own state and how we relate with other people, then that can help to kind of to lighten the load for practical conflict resolution. But all that said, I'm just really excited to help grow this in whatever way. And that's all.
Yeah, I just want to say, one, you've been doing an amazing job. I've been kind of watching from a distance. I've unfortunately been unable to attend these meetings, so this is my first one. And so, like Jake, I'm excited to take part in the next cohort of Graviton training. I think it's really fascinating what you're setting up here, and I think that eventually I would like to see like case studies of of Gravitons who actually have gone through the process of having difficult conversations with people and saying, hey, this worked, this didn't work, this is my failure, this is my success, and kind of just creating this foundation for future Gravitons to learn from. So keep up the good work, man. It's really awesome.
Rita, Leon, do you want to participate?
What exactly are you guys doing here? So you, Juan Carlos, what are you gathering together now?
Yeah, as we just finished the Graviton training, and we all are Gravitons now, and like we are deciding what are gonna be the next steps of Gravity. And the first question was about dates, topics, and speakers. And if you feel that maybe there's a topic that can be added to our training, or a speaker, or you would like to post yourself or other as a speaker that can help us like develop a more broad training, and to include multiple points of view into our design of the training.
Yeah, I was interested how you would do that with in building community, how you would explain polarity and have people exercise doing that, doing polarity dynamics, spiral dynamics, nonviolent communication. I think I still have to catch up on your videos, but if you could, is there a way that you can transcribe them? Because yeah, I think you have a lot of great stuff in there, and it would be easier to navigate.
Yes, they are in the YouTube channel.
Okay.
The Token Engineering Commons YouTube channel. You can search for them. They are 8 sessions, and
Okay.
yeah, the 4th and the 8th ones are practical cases.
All the ones that are Graviton are yours, right?
There are some people that did not claim the 4 pods, so that was the criteria for becoming a Graviton. But like all are invited, all people is invited to come into this working session and participate. But when it comes to like handling or mediating an issue, it's a requirement to be a Graviton, and that has like a certain level of confidentiality around the information that we handle.
Got you.
Okay. The only one missing for this first question is Leon. If you want to participate, you can do it, or otherwise we jump to this second question, and is there a Graviton relation with other DAOs?
I didn't go, Juan. I want to add something. I think it would be super cool, like if we could create this training, but something like Coursera, like for example, if someone like Nate or Jay wants to jump in, like don't be blocked by the dates. That'd be super cool. To have in the plan. And yeah, now we have all this Graviton. We have a lot of resources to work on.
Okay, yes, that was a possibility, and actually, if people see the 8 videos, and somehow I can like prove that they saw the 8 videos, I can still send the pop links. But yeah, that would be like the other way, but it would be like to see the 8 videos and maybe answering some questions, and then I can send the pops. Yeah. That's a great idea, like an async training. I like a lot that idea, Septimus. Okay, and we can move to the point of Graviton relations with other DAOs. This is something that Jessica has like made a really great bridge for Gravity, and we have some like make our first steps into connecting with other communities, and we have we have had a few interactions with the regenerative Renaissance University. And it would be really good to keep having relationships with them. Of course, we are born in the TEC, and we would love to continue working in the TEC with the TEC and all the common stack and all the communities that are around it. And also, we had our first external mediation request that was from Metagame, and it went well, because we have been seeing it as an opportunity to help other organizations to promote codes of conduct as a way to have a criteria to guide the behavior, the expected behavior within organizations. And also I requested for a presentation, and Jessica also helped with that on the MetaFest, and I just got confirmed that the next Wednesday we will have a space to present in the MetaFest. next Wednesday. So it will be good also to like select some of the best slides from the Graviton training to like present Gravity to Metafest in the Metafest. But if you think of another community that can like benefit from Gravity, or if you have a certainty like approach to other communities that you feel that can profit from Gravity, feel welcome. Feel welcome to share some other community, and we will try to make our first approach, and also to involve other community members and other DAOs into this Graviton training, so that in this next training we have people from multiple organizations and from various organizations acting as as Gravitons. So, do you have any other organization that you would like to add to this list? I mean, I see here there is Chewy, and I would also love that Gravity like approach One Hive as well, and that more of One Hive members also come to our training, and that we can apply this prevention of conflicts also in that community. What do you think about? Well, I guess Chewy doesn't maybe doesn't have like much of a context of what we're doing, but basically is training people into these skills for handling conflict in a pacific and transformative way. And we want to have certain people in each community trained in these skills, so that if conflict arise, they can address it when it's still small, or they can like help on diagnose and understand the conflict, or and propose alternative of the solutions. So, and ease the communication between people, so that we are not fragmented by conflicts, but rather we use conflicts to reach to better states, and include multiple positions in decision taking, and also to respect all of the members. So yes.
Yeah, probably these kind of abilities are gonna come to into hand, especially, for example, every week pollen distributions sometimes get a lot of heat, and and actually, like I was involved in a big one, kind of like a month, 1 month and a half ago, and it was very tense because there were like some people that were getting benefits that we didn't agree with, and then some of these people showed up like in the middle of the discussion, and then it was like, okay, I mean, it's not like personal, you know, like against you, but you're getting this benefit, and well, we just want to like review it. And yeah, I mean, in the last few weeks I've been involved in a lot of like local onboardings, and I've been helping some artists like set their like NFT farms or whatever. But as they advance, this question always arises, like, okay, so now we have a community, we have like this notion of how we can use our tokens for governance and all of this. But yeah, I mean, it's something, these tools, it's something that people usually ask, like, what's going to happen when these times come, when these discussions arise. So yeah, I think it's something very beneficial for these communities. And also, I mean, speaking of One Hive specifically, I mean, Celeste is helping a lot, but this doesn't like from the idea that I'm getting and what you're describing, this works in a more like human like sensibility and it's very different, you know, like if we talk about like tools for problem solving and all of this, I mean, Celeste is getting a lot of hype in One Hive, but it is also important to remind people in communities that this is not all in the hands of our tools, but also in our like disposition to have the right attitude, you know, because if no matter how many things you put on top, like if members of a community don't have these values in them, it is really difficult to be in like a position where you can actually like contribute. So yeah, I like what you're talking about, Graviton. So I think, yeah, I mean, and what ideas do you have for One Hive? Like, how could we start implementing these things and talking to people about these communication tools?
Well, I am really thankful for what you're saying, and I think that what we can do is assign a Graviton to go to that calls, and first we will have to like gather a lot of information, and what I think that we can do is also to set some ground rules into the meetings, as here we have a meeting protocol, and maybe we can have also like a protocol for some of these calls, so that if the discussion starts to heat up, there can be like a moderator to like ease things up, or if someone is like overpassing some of like the mindful communication, that a person can also like moderate in the call, and mute mics, but also we can identify key actors and key positions, so that we can try to then build a bridge between positions that can maybe seem that they are opposite, but we can find like key common interests to try to make to build a bridge and reach to a mutual agreement that benefits all parts. And also what I think is that we can also help on the design of this kind of rules and boundaries and documents and like higher truth criteria that can be applied when unwanted behavior or when conflicts may arise within the organization, like having ways to promote mindful communication within the organization, and like also framing what are like I see that One Hive like have this covenant and stuff like that, but also not making the documents only documents, but trying to have them on the everyday practice, to show them and to like try to have a cultural build around the agreements, so that they are not like only a document written, but more like a code that can be seen through the representation of the organization and its members. So yeah, I think that maybe we can keep this by DM, and if I think it would be great if it's not me, but it's other Graviton that can like assume this task, and like be like our representative, the representative of gravity in this in the pollen distributions, and see how can we help our brothers. And I really see, and I see here also N spiral greater than other groups that are allied in our work. Okay, so we have.
I just wanted to jump in on that. We're not the only ones doing this work, and so it would be pretty awesome to collaborate and maybe even bring them into Gravity, bring Gravity into them, and create alliances with people who are aligned in our effort.
Okay.
And definitely watch that documentary if you're an innovator.
Sorry. I just switched between my screen. Okay. Okay, that's amazing. I also saw that in the Gitcoin grants that LexDAO had a Gitcoin grant on dispute resolution. So I think that maybe we can also approach LexDAO, but I don't know anyone in LexDAO. So yes.
Oh, also probably Shenanigans are going to be interested in Metaverse that has a really good relationship with them.
Okay. So yes, I think that now we have like a scope of organizations that we can try to touch some doors and see how can we reach to them. So okay, I like how you frame it, like clients and partners. So that's amazing. And now I also wanted to jump into like a financial plan for Gravity. Like I was also seeing this article that is really good. That is the continuation of the first article that Block Science published on DAO to DAO relations, and it says like DAO to DAO collaboration mechanisms, and I found it super interesting because it says that we don't need to have like a new DAO to make collaboration between two DAOs. So I don't know if if like Gravity should become a DAO, or that we can be just like a collaboration point between the token engineering commons and other DAOs. So yeah, that's like my question here, because we can also have like joint ventures with other DAOs, and in that way, like we don't really need a Gravity DAO, and we can approach other DAOs. Or maybe if you think that it's better if we have like a Gravity DAO, that's like a really big question, but I don't want to divide us into this moment. And also, if we are going to make a proposal for the TEC, and if we are going to make like a Gitcoin grant. So as for the first question, I would like to have like a round of open mics, and I can start, and I can say that I am not very good, or I have not much experience. I have not much experience in this topic. So I really appreciate all the advice, and I just want to make the best for what convinces us all. So okay, I will pass to Griff.
So I think that there's enough interest in the startup for there to be living off of grants and staying lean, and making this training. Eventually, I believe, I'm kind of a tokenization maximalist, so I'm a big believer in, like, if you're creating value for society, you need an economic model, not a business model. I really don't think that Gravity works best with a business model, but it's not a bad place to start. And there's I've seen a lot of projects, especially in this bull market, start with just like a very simple investment thesis, and where they go around to people who just made a fuck ton of money, and they're like, "Yo, you want to give me like 20K, and we'll make a token eventually. We'll figure it out." And then people are like, "Yeah, sure. Thanks for the investment opportunity." So if we really need funding, then I think basically going around to allied people and asking for, like, even $1,000 to $10,000, maybe keeping it in that range from, like, a few people, then you could easily get some startup funds, as long as there's a plan on tokenizing later. And it can be kind of like that. Or really, I'm curious about, like, what funding is needed. Like, I don't know if we know what funding is really needed for things, or how we want to incentivize things. So determining the rewards, working on, like, ideal rewards, like pretend you have the funds that you need. What are those? What would we use them for? Right. And starting there, and then maybe we just work for free and volunteer first and see where things get hard. And then that will give us the information to really figure out what does Gravity need for money. And making the kind of budget, and being budget driven for finances. I'll pass it to Livia.
Yeah, I have a similar feeling that it feels precipitated to think of a business plan now, when it feels like the actions of Gravity need to be a little bit more drafted out or played out to see how are the Gravitons using the materials from the training, when any type of situation comes up, what is the process, and how this process is being developed, what are the needs that are coming from practice, and then from there, like Griff said, understanding, like, okay, now that we know how many, like, hours more or less we're working, what are the situations that are requesting our expertise, and how are we playing with all of this together, then understanding, like, the a model for this to be sustainable. And also, maybe it's not so urgent right now that we do have the praise system and SourceCred that is also going to be acknowledging contributions from everyone in the TEC. So maybe, like, keeping it into this DAO until we launch and understand the dynamics, and then expanding to other DAOs once the dynamics between Gravitons are more laid out. And I pass to Nate.
Yeah, I have no comments in terms of the business model, or the way to approach that. I would say put it off until we figure out what exact value we're creating for other communities. So.
Yeah, like my consideration in this is like I love doing what I do, and I love helping other people. I think that what motivates me really to be and to hear conflicts is not because I love like conflict, but more what I love is to see people like coming out of a conflict and thanking you for like the support you give. That is like really super meaningful. And but I think that yeah, if we want to make this like an organization and scale it, maybe it should be good for the people that dedicate their time, their effort to contact, to gather information, to build these bridges. Maybe they can get rewarded in some way. But yeah, I totally agree that maybe we will first need to understand what are those um, what are those what are the activities and what is the workload of that requires to manage a case, so that we can also see how can we reward the people that do that work.
I was going to also say that identifying other communities that are trying to implement this or practice this, and really starting to build up partnerships and seeing how you can collaborate with other communities on creating kind of a holistic approach towards, you know, Graviton training or conflict management within communities would be really, really beneficial. And I think the more communities you get involved with this, the better off, you know, the more sustainable it becomes over time.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of input for this topic, but I just wanted to turn on my mic and participate. Say that much. Thank you.
Okay.
If I can add something, Juan, just the article that you were looking at there in the DAO to DAO research, I would just say the experience of creating DAOs is that it's a lot of overhead and admin. And right now, with the tools that are there, it seems to kind of take away from the work, even as it says in that research. So I think it's premature. I would also reflect, as some have said, to think, you know, I don't think that's needed at this point. I think it's an interesting idea and always to like keep exploring. But yeah, I think taking a little bit and adding to what Livia said about needs. What is the need in this space, and how much work does that take? Maybe just having the like attention and awareness and like a one-time presentation is enough. Maybe there will be other groups who want to build this with you, or yeah, people like Enspiral who have already been doing this work. But I think it's like any, you know, when you're looking at some, I think Livia called it a business plan. Like it's always, if you want to talk in business terms, you know, you first see what is the challenge and then you build a solution. If you just build a solution and you don't really know what are the actual needs of these communities, then you may be building the wrong thing. So maybe like a surveying process could be good to kind of start to uncover that. Like, and maybe a good network to tap into is they had like DAO Rush Week a few weeks back. So, you know, we have lists of DAOs. You could do like a survey and see what the needs are, and then build some solutions or a menu to fit those needs. And then you can kind of estimate and work backwards of like how many hours would these things take. So maybe start with asking questions. And I'll pass it to Zepti. Did you have a chance or want to comment on this portion?
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Yeah, I fully support what Livy was saying. I think it's a super cool idea to gather all the information and check all the needs the community have on the TEC. And yeah, the people is going to be rewarded with through the praise and source credit, so that's not a problem. And yeah, grow the baby, and when the baby is grown, then look for other opportunities. I don't know who hasn't gone. I'll pass it back to you, Juan.
I'd like to go. I think what I'm lacking, and maybe that's due to my engineering mindset, is like a protocol. We've gone through the great training, but I'd love to have like a path to try to work on conflicts when they arise. You know, like a method that would help us go through the process of talking to the parts, trying to intermediate, and try to solve those conflicts when they arise. After going to a couple of iterations, we'll probably have a great, protocol or procedure defined, and maybe the way to move forward would be to offer that service to a few DAOs and experiment with their conflicts, which may be slightly different than the ones we have on DEC. Although conflicts are always conflicts, but on the context, they may be slightly different. And from there, I'm sure we might be able to figure out what we can offer to them and probably how much we could charge for that.
Super appreciate all your comments. Super appreciate all your comments. I think like making a survey, it's super amazing, and also like polishing the method, because yes, it would be really amazing that we can have like a process that it would be like really easy to follow for everyone, and not something like confusing, or that everyone does it in a different way, but more of like, so like yeah, as you say, a process or a method that is like the brand of Gravity, and what differentiates us from other dispute resolution strategies. So really like that. And well, I now want to invite you all to know that we have to update the manifesto. So what I will do is like I will try to put this, like make a survey, have a method in these new steps, and maybe it would be also good if we have people that volunteer to do any of the to lead any of these tasks. It would be really great. Like if someone wants to volunteer to go or to act as a Graviton in the pollen distribution in one hive, or if someone wants to help like reaching to other organizations when building bridges with other organizations, if someone wants to help to make the survey, or like work on the method, maybe we can build like small working groups and have like leads on each of these tasks, so that in the next meeting we can like yeah, present some advances on what we are doing. So like who would like to volunteer to work on the survey?
I think it would be cool to create an issue on GitHub, and then yeah, we if it's very big, maybe we distribute an epic and see what's sparse, and then when we have a clear mapping, then we can decide. Okay, I can take this, and other people will interact.
Okay, so then I can like identify like three issues that can be created, and is the issue on the survey, the issue on the method, and the issue on the reaching out to other organizations. Do you agree that these three issues can be created to like add for the next sprint?
What is the survey exactly about?
The survey would be like, what kind of needs does the DAOs like identify related to conflict within their organizations? Like, if what are the maybe the most common conflicts they see, or like yeah, like maybe in some organization people don't have a mindful communication, and maybe in other organization the problem is different on communication, and it's rather like that some members try to impose some ideas over the collective, or maybe that they don't have like clear documents that state the rules and boundaries, so that there can be like a criteria to manage the behavior of the organization. So yeah, it can be like a survey to identify what are the needs of DAOs related to conflict management, so that we can also identify like in what things we can strengthen our offer to give a really complete service, and on what are the needs of that.
Thank you. Yeah, nice.
I was actually thinking on a different process. Maybe it's not good, but I'm just going to say it. What I was thinking is on the survey we asked to the community if they ever had a conflict, or if they ever feel bad or something, and why they didn't use the type forum. Yeah, I was thinking very like the idea is to get the community engaged and be proactive, and yeah. Before the conflict rises, like try to be and also like try to get the community involved, and knowing that Gravity is here to support. And yeah, I would love to work in this road.
I like what Zeptimus just said about figuring out like different scenarios and reasons why, where people might not feel comfortable just going to the type form. And I think that's a good problem area just to really think about, and try and figure out ways to make it easier for people to participate in that. I also had an idea when we were talking about the survey, like finding out what our DAOs having problems with. We also have, we know historically there are numerous really difficult situations that DAOs have gone into and have blown up into, rage quits and massive like Reddit and Twitter battles. It might be good to just sort of make a list of some of those, and try to make some case studies where we sort of go back and try to replay that, but as though gravity was there, and what could we have done in each of these conflicts, how it could have been managed. And I can help working on that.
You muted, Juan.
You're muted, Juan.
Sorry. But I thank you because I was like blank before this call, and now I have like a really big scope of things to do that I love all what you have said. And also I wanted to ask Santi if he wants to help me with the method.
Sure, I'd love to do that.
Yes, I love how you have like made a diagram of how the like you, yeah, I love how you have made a method of the hatch of the TC, and I know that you can help like to make a really good method for when a conflict arrives, what are the next steps so that anyone can follow it. So I would appreciate your help in that.
Just
I'd like to
reach
help
me
with
out,
that.
and we'll work on that. I think it's good to have a method, although the method is there to break it, because we are talking about conflict, and it's not something you can follow on a step-by-step method. But it's good to get you, especially the new ones, those of us that are new to this space, to at the very beginning and the very first experiences that we have, we don't forget anything, and we know how to approach the conflict.
Thank you all for joining and for your participation.